Charles University shot and killed 14 people and injured 25 others, 10 of them seriously, before being found dead in what is believed to be the worst mass shooting in the Czech Republic's modern history. The city's police chief, Martin Vondrasek, told a press briefing on Thursday evening that the death toll may rise further, adding that the shooting had been a, quote, premeditated violent attack, apparently inspired by similar massacres abroad. The Czech Interior Minister Vít Rakusin said there was no indication the killings, which took place at the university's Faculty of Arts building, had any connection with international terrorism. The father of the shooter had been found dead earlier on Thursday, police said. The mayor, Bohuslav Svoboda, told Czech TV, "We always thought this was a thing that did not concern us. Now it turns out that unfortunately our world is also changing, and the problem of the individual shooter is emerging here as well." Police said shortly after 3 p.m. local time that they were responding to a shooting at Jan Pollock Square near tourist sites such as the 14th century Charles Bridge in central Prague. And less than an hour later, they said on X that the shooter had been, quote, eliminated, and the entire building was being evacuated. Teachers and students were instructed by email to take shelter while the police action was underway. Stay put. Don't go anywhere. If you're in the offices, lock them and place furniture in front of the door. Turn off the lights, the email said. And this is an image of Police Chief Martin Vondrasek on the left and the Czech Interior Minister Vít Rakusin in the center, speaking to the media after the shooting. Several students posted pictures of doors inside the university barricaded shut. Quote, "Currently stuck inside my classroom in Prague. Shooter is dead, but we're waiting to be evacuated, praying to make it out alive," wrote one Jacob Wiseman. Others clambered out onto narrow ledges in a desperate attempt to flee the shooter. And that picture was scary.
Yes, it was.
Very narrow ledge. Vondrasek said the body of the student's father had been found at his home in the town of Kustun, west of Prague, at 12:40 p.m. Police established that the student, who has not been publicly named, was supposed to be attending a lecture at the university at 2 p.m. A search of the main arts faculty building was ordered immediately, the police chief said, but the suspect, who is the legal owner of several guns, went to another building where he opened fire. First reports of the shooting were received at 2:59 p.m., and a SWAT team was on site 12 minutes later. At 3:20 p.m., Vondrasek said he had received information that the shooter's body was lying on a ledge of the building. He said the suspect had suffered devastating injuries, but it was not immediately clear if he had killed himself or died from police gunfire. Petra Nadoma, the director of the Rudolfinum Gallery across the square from the scene of the incident, told Czech TV he had seen the shooter. Quote, "I saw a young person on the gallery who had some weapon in his hand, like an automatic weapon," he said. He was shooting toward the mains bridge repeatedly with some interruptions. Then I saw, as he shot, he put his hands up and threw the weapon down on the street. It lay there on the pedestrian crossing, Nadoma said. Another witness told the local news website idnes.cz that she had been among these evacuated from the building. Quote, "It was terribly scary. A lot of policemen everywhere who were shouting at us with submachine guns, telling us to run inside," she said. The Czech president, Petr Pavel, said he had been deeply shocked by the events at the university. "I would like to express my deep regret and sincere condolences to the families and relatives of the victims that the shooting claimed," he said. The Prime Minister, Petr Fiala, canceled a trip to the east of the country because of the, quote, tragic events at the Faculty of Philosophy, and was returning to Prague, while Svoboda said he was completely shocked. And there's a picture of someone with looks like an automatic weapon.
So they were at the Faculty of Philosophy?
And this seems like weird. Someone just said he was shooting at a bridge. They were across the street, and then he put his hands up and threw it down. That's that part.
I mean, how did he even get the weapon? Which is weird, right?
Well, they said he was the legal owner of that weapon, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a legal owner, but the part where he says he's like shooting at a bridge or something, that just doesn't sound like he was there to shoot students. That's
Maybe he was going to shoot the bridge and blow up the bridge.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. European European leaders sent their condolences, shocked by the senseless violence of the shooting that claimed several lives today in Prague. The European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said on X, "We stand and mourn with you." The Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte said his thoughts were with the victims and their loved ones, while Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban said he had been deeply shocked by the heinous shooting at Charles University. And that's the end of that story.
I'll take the next one. Penny has got a little bit of a scratchy throat today, so we're going to help her save her voice a little bit. President Joe Biden's campaign Wednesday posted a graphic directly comparing former President Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler, replete with images of the two men on each side. The graphic, shared in a post on X, marks an even more aggressive turn in a highly charged attempt by the Biden campaign to link its likely Republican general election opponent with the Nazi leader. And it foreshadows how central the attack line is likely to be as part of the president's efforts to win re-election. He will not, before 2024 is out, he's going to drop out, folks. Trust me. Under the banner Trump parrots Hitler, the graphic lists three quotes from the 45th president next to those of the Nazi leader. Number one, immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country, read one Trump quote. Below it read a partial quote from Hitler, contamination of the blood by an inferior race will lead to the fall of Germany. This is not a coincidence, the Biden campaign said. Comparing a political opponent to Hitler was once nearly verboten, using a German term, in political campaigns. But it has become routine for the Biden operation, which notes that historians themselves has said Trump's rhetoric echoes that of fascist leaders. The Biden, well, at least Trump is coherent. The Biden campaign linked Trump's statements to Hitler multiple times in the past few weeks and has urged reporters to more closely scrutinize the former president's speeches, particularly around immigration. Trump has scoffed at the comparison, but he has not backed away from his comments. At a rally on Tuesday, he once said again, immigrants are destroying the blood of our country, and added that he had never read Mein Kampf, Hitler's manifesto. The Biden camp didn't let that slide. Probably the audio book then.
Oh my God.
Spokesman T.J. Ducklow over X. Although Biden has been more cautious to draw a flat-out comparison between Trump and Hitler in his public remarks, he has inched closer to doing so in recent days. At a fundraiser on Tuesday night, Biden said that the language Trump uses reminds us of the language coming from the Germany of the 1930s.
Oh my God.
He has called those who oppose him vermin, and again this weekend he talked about the blood of our country as being poisoned. Even conservative Republicans have spoken out against it, Biden said. And I don't think that's what Trump meant.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think he meant literal blood of humans, I'm sure.
No.
But I didn't see it. But
I can take this next story. New Hampshire man indicted after allegedly sending death threats to presidential candidates. The DOJ charged 30-year-old Tyler Anderson of Dover with 3 counts of transmitting in interstate commerce a threat to injure the person of another. And as I stated earlier, I believe we're actually going to be seeing more of this, unfortunately. A New Hampshire man was indicted after sending threatening text messages to several presidential candidates, the Justice Department announced Tuesday. First of all, how do you get their phone numbers?
Right.
The DOJ, charged 30-year-old Tyler Anderson of Dover with 3 counts of transmitting in interstate commerce a threat to injure the person of another. In the first series of texts sent in late November, Anderson threatened to impale and disembowel one candidate. Holy moly, like Hannibal Lecter crap.
yeah, that's extreme. That's
A little. On December 3rd, Anderson threatened a second candidate, writing a text that he would blow the head off the candidate and conduct a mass shooting. Oh, God. And how long did they let this crap go on? Finally, on December 8th, Anderson threatened via text messages that he would blow the brains out of a third candidate and kill everyone who would attend a scheduled campaign event. So, from December 6th to December 8th, they didn't arrest this guy. They let him continue. The threats follow a mass shooting in nearby Maine in late October that left 18 people dead. According to the press release, so he's wandering around for 2 days after he's sending these text messages. According to the press release, Anderson was arrested on December 9th. 3 days. It made an initial appearance in federal court on December 11th. He was released with conditions on December 14th. He faces up to 5 years in prison, up to 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000 for each charge. They released this psycho. The Attorney General's office. I'm just like, what? The Attorney General's office did not name the 3 presidential candidates in his press release and did not identify an attorney for Anderson. Mr. Anderson, we have seen an increase in threats and violence against public officials and those seeking public office across the country, and I have made clear that these types of illegal threats undermine the function of our democracy, Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a statement. Unfortunately, I don't like Merrick Garland, but that's just me. We will not
Nobody
tolerate...
likes Merrick Garland.
Okay, because he's definitely not related to Judy.
I wouldn't put Merrick Garland on my Christmas tree.
We will not tolerate illegal threats of violence directed at public officials or those seeking public office. Okay, so good to say, but the guy was meandering around, threatening to blow people's heads off for 3 days.
And it's relevant it would be relevant to hold him until after the election if he literally said he was planning on doing these things to me. You know what I mean? Not
Girl,
release him
they
after a few days.
released him. What the H?
And guess who is being investigated by the Secret Service? John Schneider.
What?
Yes, apparently John Schneider was quoted as saying the other day that President Biden has committed treason against the United States and should be tried, and if convicted, hung in the public square, and because of that, the Secret Service is investigating him.
Oh my God. I love John Schneider.
There is something in the Constitution very specific.
He is an American.
And
Of all Americans, this man is an American and an amazing individual. I love that guy.
I know, I do too, and he lost his wife last year to cancer.
Aw.
And grieving, really.
Yeah, she's the love of his life.
He's
It's
yeah.
very hard losing someone.
I don't think he was threatening President Biden in any way. He was saying the guy should be tried for what he's been doing.
Yeah, I want to go review the Constitution because I know I did the audiobook like 10 years ago, but there is a specific blurb about treason, and I don't know if it defines treason, but that's a question that's been on my mind. What is the definition of treason?
Well,
the real one.
We'll look at
Biden. Just look it up. Under Biden, it says definition of treason.
it's got his picture right there along, you know.
Right.
But anyway, now it's time to tell you who is coming on the program today, Penny.
Yes, and we're going to have a little bit of a break here, Heather, so just let me know. And away we go with a shot of espresso. Good day, and welcome to the Awake Nation guest interview with guests who defy the mainstream narrative. Grab a cup of coffee while our guests do the news for you. The Awake Nation, the truth with a shot of espresso. The Mockingbird Media controls the narrative. We help you determine what is real and what is not.
Global conspiracy, key players, the highest levels of power, reaches into the lives of every man, woman, and child on this planet.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no Satans. Friday, December 8th, 2023, our guests are Paul Roberts. Paul Roberts is a Fortean investigator investigating all things paranormal, from UFOs to ghosts to demons to cryptids. He is an author of over 73 paranormal-themed books. Roberts is also a journalist for Phenomenon Magazine, Costa Rican Times, Outer Limits Magazine, and Paranormal Underground Magazine. Our next guest is Marissa McGinnis. #MeToo Family Court Movement. Marissa seeks to bridge the gap between domestic abuse, our family court crisis, and MK Ultra. guest is Mark Matheny. Sid Semper Tyrannis News Podcast. Mark is a U.S. veteran, Messianic Jew, an independent investigative journalist and podcaster. Mark reports on geopolitical events that are culminating in a world government scenario. He breaks down the biblical and spiritual aspects of current events.
Corruption charges they were trying to throw at Trump. The big thing I kept saying was they're going to try to use January 6th as a pretext to then say Trump was the mastermind behind it and try to get him for somehow carrying out this so-called insurrection, which is now being basically exposed for what it really was, a Fedsurrection.
Our next guest is Tanya Joy Gibson, Beauty for Ashes, Tanya Joy Show, Tanya Joy TV, Coffee Talk with Esther. Tanya is a former Miss Illinois. She's a podcaster, a singer, an actress, a speaker, and an activist for Jesus.
Wait, hang tight. Thanks for being with us. Remember, you can support the show, find out more about us over at tanyajoy.tv. Again,
Rounding out the final hour of the vacation is Susie Q, White Horse Productions. Susie is a world cutting horse champion and owner of a horse ranch in Benson. She's an entrepreneur who escaped being murdered by serial killers Otis Toole and Henry Dubuque. She is currently working on her memoirs. You can find Susie Q on the Dark Outpost, where she delivers hot shots of intel. You can also find Susie at her arena, Joel's Indoor Arena and Event Center, located in Atlanta, Texas. Don't forget to subscribe to the Dark Outpost at darkoutpost.tv. There you will find exclusive content, interviews, documentaries, and details not found anywhere else. For the full show, go to awakenation.tv. Falling down the rabbit hole can hurt. Ouch. Ow, that's gonna hurt. We will provide the researchers and whistleblowers. Your mission is to discern the truth from the MSN lies. And now for the interview portion of the Awake Nation. And awake we go with a shot of espresso. It's sip time.
On Elizabeth. Absolutely love it. Welcome back to the Awake Nation with Penny Eller Shepherd. Every day, David Dublik joining us now. Paul Dale Roberts, who always is a joy to have on, not only because of your excellent research, but you have a terrific sense of humor.
Hey, well, right now I want to say good morning, Penny, Heather, and David. How you
Good
guys
morning.
doing?
We're doing good, getting ready for a few days off for Christmas. So after today, we will be gone until next Thursday, the 28th, and they'll be back for a couple of days, and then we'll take New Year's Day off, and they'll be back after that on a regular schedule. No breaks for a while after that. So, but we're good. We're good. How about you?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for Christmas. I mean, got my shopping done and everything else, so I'll be kind of glad when it's over with because it's just been so busy. And last night we went out and we saw the Christmas lights over at the Elk Grove Historical Society Museum, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was just watching this. We were talking about Michelle Obama. Well, my brother-in-law, Don Kruger, who's married to my sister, Sharon Diane Kruger, went to Princeton University with Michelle. And he showed me the yearbook and everything, and there she looked like a female. So, but I have heard the rumors that she was once a man. Do we have any pictures of Michelle Obama as a man back in the day?
Well, we have pictures, but I can't verify whether or not they're doctored or not. But allegedly, there's some pictures with her and Barack with short hair and dressed as a man. But people post all kinds of stuff on the internet. I'm more inclined to believe that she is a man, but I can't use pictures, photographs to prove that.
And then there's rumors that Obama is actually gay. So
Well,
I've heard
it's
that.
Sure, that's true.
Yeah.
And we had a guest scheduled to come on, and then he never made it.
Yeah, he got sick at the last minute, but I will pursue him again.
It's hard to follow internet rumors, but I heard an internet rumor that there was a sex tape video of Barack going around that proved he was gay. I don't go look at those things because I don't want to see them. But
And also Larry Sinclair has been very vocal about it. I thought Larry Sinclair was dead because it was spread across the internet that he'd been hit in a hit and run. And he showed up on Twitter, and I was like, really? You know, who is this? And then I researched a little bit further. He was just interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and he was also in Dinesh D'Souza's Trump card video, and very much alive. He also ran for mayor of Cocoa in Florida. So, you know, he is an individual that came forward and said that he had sex with Barack Obama twice.
That's amazing. That's amazing. David, we had on your team an IT professional, computer technician extraordinaire. I sent some pictures to, and I think she has them posted.
I do, as a matter of fact. 1 second. And here we go. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that is amazing. Okay, so the picture to the left, that's psychic Brittany Lance Leary. And very amazing. We were in Franklin, California, and Franklin, California is famous for, well, it's been around since the 1800s. And there was an outlaw named Calvin Colt, and he would gallop his horse down the main street, and people to this day say they see the ghost of Calvin Colt and his horse going down the street. And they had a notable that lived in the cemetery who was on the Lewis and Clark expedition, named Alexander Hamilton Willard. So anyway, we did an investigation in Franklin, California, and I brought this psychic, Brittany, and she says, take a picture of me now, because I'm hugging the ghost. And sure enough.
Oh, I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
What's the black spot?
Oh, that. Okay. So another psychic, Wishfire, she says, we were investigating this house, and she goes, there's something burning my leg. So
Oh my gosh.
So I snap a picture, and bam, we get this shadow on her leg.
That is incredible. Both of these are excellent.
Oh yeah.
The ghost. That is amazing.
Okay, this one. Okay, this is sort of a sad story. A mother who lost her child in a car accident, and her child appears by her poolside, and she took a picture, and that's her child as a ghost sitting down.
Wow. I see him.
Yeah.
Now this other one this one's related to the first one, correct?
Oh yeah. The same thing. She goes, oh, okay. The picture to the left. She's channeling the ghost. She's doing this meditation thing and telling it to go ahead and take some of her energy, and it's coming down. Looks like from the roof. And embracing her.
It looks like a little ectoplasm, and it also reminds me a little bit of Ghostbusters when those ghosts came out.
Yeah.
You could see them.
Yeah, and then the picture to the right, she's all happy and everything. She goes, oh, take a picture of me. I'm hugging the ghost again.
Wow.
That is something. That is.
Is this a special camera? Are these just regular pictures where this is showing up? Or?
Just regular camera. Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of camera. If there's a ghost there, you're going to take a picture of it. So it doesn't matter what kind of camera. Okay.
What is this picture?
Okay, this is over in Biggs, California. And we were working, I'm the location scout of Ghost Adventures on Discovery Plus.
Because that's a very nice camera.
Yeah. So that's Zach Bagans, and that's Jay Wasley. And so we were actually there, me and Wishfire, our psychic. they told us to park on the side of the road. And Aaron Goodwin, Billy Tully, and Jay Wasley, they sneak up behind us. And I had my window open on the driver's side, and they stuck the camera right in there. And they go, What happened when you did your investigation in Bates, California? And so they caught me by surprise, scared the heck out of me. I thought I was being carjacked. But
Carjacked with a camera.
Oh yes, and this
Like
episode,
those days in the 70s with the 60 Minutes news crews. Remember when they used to come up?
Right?
yeah. So yeah, and this right here is from an episode from it's called Horror in Biggs. So if you ever have a chance to see that episode, it's called Horror in Biggs. Oh, and when they were filming